So I'm here to make some of you pretty uncomfortable tonight. That's my goal anyway. I'm going to ask you a question. Are you exercising several times every week, pretty much every week of the year? I know there's people here who are, and that's good, and there's people probably who aren't. I hope that you'll consider doing so after you hear this talk. So where I was about a year ago, this is kind of my residual self-image. There's a nice geeky reference for everybody. This is actually me in the mid-90s, but you know, you think of yourself, you're young, you're fairly thin, everything's going great, right? Unfortunately, then reality hits you. This is a picture I had taken last year, not my best, and I think the screen makes it look even better when it's blown up really big, you know? Wow, 50 pounds overweight after about 15 years in front of a computer. And I know there's a lot of people out here that spend time in front of the computer. So I decided I'm going to change something. So I went to my family, I said, look at me, this is the fattest you're ever going to see me. I'm never going to be this big again. Number one, set a severe consequence for failure. Now my daughter's going, okay, Daddy, you know, show it, prove it. Number two, I planned a trip to go up to Colorado, 11,000 feet. I started looking around for a plan so I could get somewhere, and I found this guy on the left. His name's Cameron Haynes. He's an ultra runner. He's sponsored by Under Armour, so he's pretty serious. And he's passing Lance Armstrong in the Boston Marathon, by the way. So, I mean, you know, pretty impressive guy. He wrote an article on how to get started, and he said 30 minutes at a time, 3 or 4 times a week, walk 10, run 5, or whatever you can, walk 10, run 5. You know, ease up over 8 weeks until you're going 60 minutes at a time. You're running most of it. And you know what? It actually works. The first time you go out, it really stinks badly, but you get there. So then I said, what gear do I need? The cool thing about running is you need shoes. Okay, you need some clothes and all that stuff too. But if you get a good pair of shoes, you're pretty much good to go. If you haven't ever bought running shoes and you're thinking about trying this, go to a store and get some help. There's more to it than you think. So after you have shoes, you have a plan, you need a goal. And the important thing here is pick a goal with a deadline, you know, where if you don't do it, you're really going to suffer and you're going to look like an idiot in front of all your family and friends. So I picked the Route 66 5K. I went out, I ran it, I finished it. My daughter said, did you win? I said, hey, I wasn't the last person, you know. Yay, that's victory. There's a lot of early morning runs in there. This seems bad, but in August, this is really, really good. It's much more pleasant to run. You get to see the sunrise. You see people going to work, and you say, wow, you know, people get up before I start coding. And then once you're going down that path, you realize, how do I know if I'm improving? I can finish a 5K, great. I tried all kinds of things, iPhone apps. I settled on a Garmin GPS. Captures all this data with a heart rate monitor. You get, you know, your heart rate. You get all kinds of information about the run, which helps you know where you're at. So a month later, after that first 5K, I ran the second 5K. And my goal that time was finish, not be last, and beat my own performance. I came in 3.5 minutes faster than I had the first time, which I thought was fantastic. And my daughter thought I was Superman. She was impressed enough by this that she decided she was going to join. Okay? I consider this a great success if you can get some family. My daughter and my wife both joined me for the 1 mile fun run part. And I would encourage you, whatever you do in life, you know, involve family and friends, in fitness especially. So I went to Colorado after a summer of running literally my butt off. It was one of the hardest things I've done physically. I got up there, I hiked around, I went above 11,000 feet. I even trail ran some up there. And you know what? It was not that bad. In fact, it was actually a lot of fun. And I realized, you know, I'm really getting somewhere now. I started feeling comfortable, and then I thought, if I'm comfortable, oh crap. You know, I need to do something different, right? I need a harder challenge. So while I'm hiking on this slope, I'm thinking about what am I going to do when I get back, and I decided I'm going to do a 10K trail race. Why not? Double the distance. The trails make it harder. Now we got rocks and trees and everything. So I got back and I thought, tell everyone. I told my family, but that wasn't enough, so I put it on Twitter and Facebook and my website. I told all my friends. So everyone now is starting to support me, you know. At first you think, well, what if I fail? But then you realize I can't because I'll look like a real idiot. You get the support flowing in, and then you have days like this. And who's been in Oklahoma for the last couple of months, okay? That's when I was, thank you, that's when I was training for this 10K that I was going to do. Wonderful weather for it, right? Beautiful sunshine, snow, cold. But you know what? You just got to embrace that adversity. Because 2 weeks out from my race, I hurt my leg, which is fantastic. You know, it was supposed to be the peak week with the most mileage, the hardest trail runs, and you know, here I am sitting on the couch. But what do? You ice it, you get off of it, and you ease back into the running. And last Sunday, I was able to finish that trail race. I was actually ahead of a third of the pack, okay? There were people much younger than me, people that have been running much longer, so I was quite happy about that. So now I'm at that point where I'm reassessing again. I'm looking at doing a half marathon. I'm thinking about getting back into mountain biking, which I did years and years ago. You know, I'm looking at those goals. How do I move ahead? And I'd encourage you right now when you're hearing this talk to think about, you know, am I really getting out? Am I doing something? Running, swimming, biking, hiking, walking, whatever it is, going to the gym. You know, you've got to make those changes. They won't happen automatically. When you're looking for help, go to the community. There's great running stores, biking shops, there's good magazines, there's all kinds of cool stuff online, and I post a whole bunch of it on my feed, so if you text Bill Day to 41411, you can get a hold of my website and my Twitter feed and everything else. Thanks very much.